Hey there, fashion bosses. How are you doing this beautiful day? So good to be in your first again. So, in today's tutorial, we will be learning how to make this beautiful dress you are seeing right here. Okay, so we've done the drafting of the lower bodies of this dress. Okay, it was actually a live class. In today's tutorial we are going to continuing in the drafting of the upper bodies and then the stitching. We are also going to learn how to draft and install the flounce you are seeing at the side. So if this is what you want to learn how to make, please stay to the end of this class and do well to subscribe. All right. Okay, so here we are. Okay, this is the bottom part, like I mentioned earlier. The bottom part, of course, which is known as the skirt part. The lower bodies and the upper bodies makes a dress. We have drafted already. The video is on this channel. Okay, it was a live class drafting. Do well to watch. I'm going to link the video to this very one. I'll drop it in the description. All right, and do well to watch so that you can know how we drafted the lower bodies. Is the skirt parts. We use a hip and butt allocation method for it. It's a video you would really want to learn how to make. You see the netty part of the skirt, which happens to be the longer part. The African fabric part is the shorter part of the skirt. Please do well to watch the video. All right, you have a lot to learn in that video. This is the front panel. You see the African print part is shorter, like you saw on the foot the earlier video. Okay, so the African print is shorter. The netty part of the skirt is a longer one. Okay, so without speaking too much English, do well to click on the link in the description so you could learn how we did all of this. There is one or two things, okay, you would learn, okay, in that tutorial video. Is extremely explicit. As you can see, it was drafted. This is the back panel, so folding all of them together so we could go into drafting the upper bodies. All right, so we're going to be using the lining as our pattern piece. Okay, this is the main fabric. When we draft with the lining, we then transfer it into the main fabric. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. So we start by first of all marking out our origin line. Okay, so the origin line is the starting line. This is where all the measurement is going to start from. So this is really very important for accuracy. It is very important that you mark out your origin line or your starting line first. Okay, and then from there you continue the other measurement. So from the origin line, we are going to take our bust point measurement or our bust line measurement. Okay, these are the horizontal lines. Okay, and then this is the under bust, and then this is the half length. We'll go ahead to add 2 inches for the same allowance. So we are going to extend the length to this upper part, the bust point, the under bust point, the half length line, and then 2 inches for the same allowance. After doing this, we're going to get our straight ruler to connect these all lines together to have a straight line. Hope you copied that. All right, okay, so do well to subscribe to this channel because there is a lot of things you would learn from this channel. Okay, do not go away without subscribing. Your subscription and your thumbs up is all I require from you. So after doing that, we are going to impute our shoulder measurement divided by 2. So the shoulder measurement is 17 inches divided by 2. We are going to be having 8.5. So I do bring that line down. Okay, 8.5. I measure my arm-on line, and then I am doing this to confirm the accuracy of the line, and then I'm going to connect. So from the shoulder line, you measure your armhole line. How do you get your armhole line? It's your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. That is how you get your armhole line. And then right about now, we are taking our neckline. Okay, so we are doing a 3 by 3 inches for now. So the neck width is 3 inches. Okay, and then the neck depth, I'm going to be using 4 inches, right? And then I'm going to connect like this and connect it like this, as you can see. And then I'm going to be coming down by 3 inches, okay, for the kind of neckline that we require. I'm going to be coming down by 3 inches, and then I'm going to be connecting it with a little curve into that square angle, okay. Just watch how I place my roller. As you can see, I'm using a bit of curve to connect that 3 inches into the square angle to get this neckline design, this shape, this kind. And then I'm going to be extending my chest line, okay, which of course is also your armhole line. All right. So after doing that, the upper part is going to serve as our illusion. So on the chest line, I'm going to be dividing my bust span measurement divided by 2, and then I will impute. But I came down by 1 on the armhole line to get my shoulder slope, okay. So you just follow keenly, all right. I'm not going to be missing out or leaving out any details. So I'm come back to the to the bust span line divided by 2, and then I put it down on the lower part of the upper bodice, and then I will connect it. So the bust span line is 8 inches divided by 2. We give 4. I'll add a 0.5 to make it 4.5. That is how we got our bust span line. So on each side of the bust span line, I am going to be deducting 1 inch, as you can see me. And then on the underbust part, I'm going to be taking 1.5 at that part, and then 0.5 at that part, and then whatever I have on the underbust, I'm going to be bringing that to the hem of the half length, right? So once we are done, I get my ruler, and then I connect with a straight line from the underbust down to the hem, and then I do the same to this part. And then I get my curve ruler to get our bust contouring. Position it this way, as you can see, to get our bust contouring. I do the same to the underside to get a perfect contouring for our bust here, right? Beautiful. So once you are done doing this, I connect it back to the chest line like this. I use a straight ruler to connect it back to the chest line, as you can see, so it's not over deepened. I use a straight ruler. You see how beautiful the contour is. So you can also choose to use a curve to do this, right? So you can use a curve to eliminate pointiness, okay. So I use my curve to eliminate pointiness. You can also use your curve all the way. It is beautiful and perfect, whichever one works for you, right? So right about now, we are going to be doing a bit of alteration right now, okay, on this part, right? So I'm going to be imputing my vertical measurement, my bust divided by 2, and then replacing the 2 inches we have on the bust span, right? Good. So I do the same on the underbust, the underbust divided by 4, and then I will go ahead to add about 6 inches to it. Okay, that's standard for me if you are a good follower of this channel. I come to the underbust divided by 4, and then I'll go ahead to add 6 inches. 6 inches just covers up everything for me. I have taught this over and over, you know, in this channel or on this channel. So I come to the waistline divided by 4, okay, and then impute my 6 inches. That is how I do these things. The bust divided by 4 plus 6, on the bust divided by 4 plus 6, waistline divided by 4 plus 6, which is half length, okay. So I did all of that connection, okay. So once we are done with that, we are going to be measuring what we have on our armhole. We divide it by 2, and then it gives us the center part of the armhole, and then I'm going to be connecting it into that square ankle arc, just like you can see me do. I connect the half length of the armhole into the square arc of the square angle of the half of the neckline, okay. And then I'm going to be deducting 0.25 0.25 on each part of that neckline, as you can see me illustrate, and then I connect it back into the armhole. This is to eliminate any form of bulge around that part when we eventually sew. All right, and then I'm going to get my armhole curve. What I just did on that neckline is very important, so that the neckline, that part will not be gaping. It is very important. So I do a 0.25, a 0.25 away from it. Okay, so that is only going to be visible done on this pattern paper. We are going to close it up. So we are done drafting this upper bodice. We are going ahead right now to draft. Please ask your question if there is any confusion at any part, and please watch the way I am cutting this pattern. It is also very important, guys. So if you have watched this video to this point, do well to subscribe. It is very important. Give a like, give a thumbs up. It is very important, right? Thank you so very much. We want to thank all our lawyer. Okay, so before I say what I want to say, I'm going to be coming down. Okay, going to be coming down, measuring the totality of what we have here to see what we have, and then I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch to get our sweetheart neckline, and then I will connect it into that point, okay, with a curve, using my armhole curve, and then I will use my hand, a free hand, to blend it properly. This is to get a bit of sweetheart neckline around that chest area, right? You know how we do these things, guys. And then I'm cutting out the yoke parts. That upper part is the illusion, the yoke part. Okay, so I go ahead to continue cutting out the remaining parts of this bodies, right? Okay, so I was saying, I was going to say that I am welcoming all our loyal subscribers, all our returning subscribers. God bless you, for staying with us on this channel. Do well to subscribe, guys. Do well to subscribe. God bless you, and give a thumbs up. And if this is your first time on this channel, please do well to subscribe. All right, do well to subscribe. God bless you as you do so. God bless you as you do so. 86, 87, 96, 97% of you watching this channel, you are not subscribed, and that is not being fair to us, right? So do well to subscribe. So we are done drafting. As you can see, I'm trying to place all of this so you have an idea of what it looks like, right, guys? So this is it. I'm going to be using this and transferring it into the main fabric. Okay, I say it's all perfect. I'm going to be transferring this into the main fabric and then introducing our interfaces. So we are going to be working on this illusion part. Okay, this is how it is when I close it up on fold, right? I'm going to be notching this point, that's arc angle point, so that it will reflect on the other parts of the neckline. So I'm going to pick that and close it up by stitching on it, following that line. It is very important. So I'm going to be closing up that before taking it to the fabric we are going to be using on the upper part of this outfit, which is, of course, is going to be a lace or a net or anything, okay, that you want to use, right? So I close it up, but I'm going to be stitching it following that line. I'll iron it down once I'm done stitching, right? I will do the same. Okay, I'm going to be doing the same to the other side. What I do here, I do to the other side of the neckline, and then I will use it to cut on my lace fabric. Okay, that is what I will do, right? So this is the back point. I did not show the back because it's just a basic back pattern. All right, I didn't show it because I believe it's something you have done, I've taught severally on this channel, so I didn't bother capturing that. Okay, so that's the back bodies. So this is the back bodies. I was done joining. You know how to join, right, guys? So the videos are not excessively long. I have taught all of this severally, so I have joined, and this is what it looks like. So I teach you what I think it will be a little difficult, or what I've not taught before. Okay, so this is it, right? I'm going to try. I use it to cut out on the net, and this is it. So we are not doing any stitching on the net, any darting on the net. we've done all of that on the piece that we use as pattern, right? So I'm going to be placing the net this way, and then I'm going to be stitching it down, following what I am doing. Just look at it keenly. These steps, guys, are actually not new. We have taught, we have shown, on how to do all of this. So repeating all of this, guys, is just for the benefit of those who are probably just, bumping into this channel, or who probably have challenges, doing this, and this happens to be their first time. All right. So this is what you will have when you stitch your net to your fabric, and then I'm going to be using a bias or the same netty fabric to tidy up the neckline, right? So that's how it works, guys. And then once you've placed it, you bring your lining piece, you place it this way, and then you stitch. You can choose to stitch the net on it first before stitching the lining, but if you can also choose to, do it this way. Just stitch everything in one at the same time, right? Okay, and then stitch the side to turn, right? Okay, so that is for that. So we're going to come back to the skirt piece, which is also very important. So I've used my lining to turn the skirt properly, right? I took my darts on it, like as though you're making a normal skirt, right? So once you are done turning your skirt with your lining and taking your darts, you're now going to bring your net or the lace you are using for the topping or the overlay, right? Or the lamination, whatever you want to call it, right? So this is the skirt, the netty part of the skirt. The netty part or the lace part is not going to be carrying a dart. Okay, you have already done all the darting on the African print or the Ankara, so you can go ahead to cut out, the allocation that you left for that, on this lace. You will cut it out. Okay? You will cut it out because you're not going to take a dart on the lace fabric. So you place it on the Ankara piece this way, and then you watch what I am going to do to continue this process. Okay? I'll get my hemming glue. I will lay it on my African prints. Just watch. The video is extremely explicit, guys. So I'll lay it on the side of the African print like this. I am going to laminate the lace fabric to the African print fabric before stitching. This is to keep the lace fabric in place. The lace fabric is stretchy, so we don't want it stretching beyond the actual measurement. So to achieve that, you have to use your hemming glue to hold it down, laminate it to the African print. It is very important. This is the trick and hack to working with all of this kind of stretchy, netty or lacy fabric, right? Okay, so I'll do the same to the other side. Place my hemming glue, arrange it properly. Okay, properly arranged. Okay, so it does not have any squeeze, any folds, any gathers, and then just strategically position your fabric. And then you can also use your UHU gum, okay, to glue it. Peradventure there was no light. I think the light went off when I was going to do that. Okay, so I had to resort into using my UHU gum to gluing this down. So I use my UHU gum to glue this down. So if you look at the side of this fabric, okay, I'm going to position it again for you to see. So let me keep that thought to myself, okay, because I need to call your attention to it. So I continue using my UHU gum to laminate the lace to the African print. Okay, I arrange it properly to see that everything is on point. So if you look at the side, you can see that the lace is spilling over the African print. Okay, so I'm holding down all of this part. It's very important. So I use the UHU gum to hold the lace to the African print. So it's like as though it's a sewn, but it's not sewn yet. But you're still going to take it to your machine to, you know, hold it down using your thread, right? Okay. So you see the side. This is the part that you're supposed to hold as darts. So like I said, the lace will not have that. So I have to trim this off. This is the inches that we allocated for that. So the lace is not going to be carrying a dart. So we have to trim it off. So I'm using my rotary cutter to cut it off and then cut off any form of excesses that may have, you know, spilled or sprang up as a result of the stretchiness of the fabric. Hope you now understand what I am doing, right? Good. So I do the same to the other side, guys. Cut out the inches that we left for that, okay? It's very important. So this is the skirt, guys, after laminating it using our UHU gum. You see how it is properly laid and laminated. So I'll take it to my sewing machine and stitch on the side for durability. So I've also done the same to the back panel. What we did to the front panel, I did to the back panel. So I am bringing it back together like this, and then we are going to shape it. Okay, but before we shape it, we are going to shape it, but we are also going to be adding flans to the side, to one side of it. Okay, it's very important. Okay, so I will shape it, hold down one side, and then leave the side, stitch one side, and then leave the side that we are going to be adding our flans. Oh guys, it's not my mother's tongue. Okay, right? Okay, so you see I've shaping. Before shaping, right, before I'm going to be measuring the side from the waistline down to the entire M to get the length of the skirt. Is very important because it is the length that we are going to use as our radius to get our flans, right? So I am going to use that length now that I have measured to divide it by 6.28 to get the measurement for my flans. So guys, this is how to draft a flans, right? You measure the side of your skirt or wherever you want to put the flans, using it as your radius. Fold your fabric into four, like as though you want to cut a circle, right? It's very important. So I iron it down because I need the lines, you know, those gray lines that is also known as gator on this piece is very important. Then I measure that angle. I use my chalk to mark out that angle, and then I open it all up. So when I iron it down that way, it's going to give me 4 quadrants. It has divided the fabric into 4. Okay, divide fabric into 4. So the first step is to place your tape rule on that point that you use your chalk to measure, and then you come down by 2 inches. You mark out 2 inches on all 4 quadrants. It's very important. And then you use your chalk to circle it out. This is the starting point for your flans. Oh, help me, Lord. Okay. And then I will place my tape rule, okay, and then determine the length, how the width of the how wide you want the flans to be, okay, and then I will start marking. So for instance, if I want my flans to be 5 inches, right, I can start by first of all marking 3 inches, you know, on one quadrant of the fabric, and then as I'm going, I will then increase it into 5, which is how big I want the width of the flans to be, okay, and then I continue measuring my 5 inches like that. I continue measuring my 5 inches. You're just going to be going around the circle measuring your 5 inches, okay, and then you connect all that measurements together as you can see me do, okay, in a circle form, okay. Right, you say 5 inches, for instance, if that is how wide you want your flounce to be, and then you connect it. You see how I took it from the first 2 inches, on the circle, and then connected it into, I started with 3 inches. From 3 inches I took it into my 5 inches, which is how wide I want my flounce to be. I continue measuring, okay, and then I am connecting, right? So when I have exhausted my fabric, I'm still marking 5 inches. So it will get to a point where you can no longer get 5 inches, and then you end it there, right? So this is the last 5 inches that we can get, and then I will connect like this, right? Okay, you can see the shape, the form it has taken. So I will now start measuring to be sure that I have the length of the side of our skirt that we measured earlier. Do you understand? So if the length of the skirt was 45, I should get 45 inches at this point when I measure. So I have measured to say that I have my 45 inches, even more than. So if it is more than, you can form a pleat to make it fuller. Okay, so I go ahead to use my rotary cutter to cut this out. Guys, subscribe. It's taking me so much blood to make this video and voice it. The least you can do is subscribing and giving a thumbs up. That is the least you can do. Subscribe, please. Support us. So I just go ahead to keep cutting out my flans, right? As you can see me do. Okay, you can use your scissors, you can use your rotary cutter, you can use anything, guys. So have you subscribed? So you see how I'm cutting this out. I'm just following the circled lines. So we are going to have that little circle in the middle. That little circle is that 2 inches that you started with. You don't need it, but it's very important. So this is the flounce once we were done. You see how beautiful, how wavy it is looking. Very beautiful. Guys, go ahead to give a thumbs up. Go ahead to like. Go ahead to subscribe. Okay. So at this point, guys, you go ahead to confirm your measurements to be sure that it will cover the area where you want it to cover. All right. So I have more than enough. All right. So you can go ahead, okay, to fold and sew the hem if that is what you want. You can also go ahead to cut another one of this flounce and then use it to turn each other, to double it for turning. Okay, so I actually doubled mine. I actually cut out another one and use it to turn it for perfect finishing. So this is it, guys. You see how I am placing it from the tiniest point, okay, into the M. Okay, see, this is what you will have. You will open up the side of that skirt, okay, and sew it inside, right? So this is the flounce. This was how we got the flounce on the side, and then you sew. So at this point I have joined the upper bodies to the lower bodies, and you can see how beautiful, guys, this is looking. Go ahead to ask your question, give a like, give a thumbs up. So the sleeve, you can go ahead to cut a basic sleeve, okay. It also has a structured sleeve, okay. I have all of this. There is a video on how we achieve that structured sleeve. So go ahead to fix my zippers, check the channel, you will see the video on how we achieve the structure sleeve, on it. Okay, so this is the structured sleeve, guys. Okay, so we have a video on how we achieved this, right? You see how structured it is looking. This is the basic sleeve, although it's a long sleeve, but it's a basic sleeve. Nothing to worry about. Okay, so you just go ahead to fix your sleeve. You first of all fix your structure. No, you first of all fix your sleeve, and then you install your structure to it. You actually install your structure, at the bottom part of the armhole. Okay, you just tack it in there after installing your sleeve. This is what it will look like. Okay, so guys, go ahead to ask your question. If you found value in this tutorial video, do it to like, share, give a thumbs up, and let us know what style you would want us to make a video on in the next tutorial. Okay, so guys, bye bye for now. See you guys in the next class. This is what we have. This is it. This is the whole process, guys. Let me know what you think about this class, this tutorial, the style. Just drop your opinion.